Hello, this is WMWesports. We're at the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. As we go down the Hamilton Straight, this is our first quali lap through Abbey into Farm, hard braking into Village. Completely missed the apex there. This is a poor lap so far. The track's not rubbered in properly yet. Into the loop, and then on the power through Aintree. And this is a very poor lap for the moment. It's purple, but again we've missed the apex going to Brooklands. We've got hardly any grip going into Luffield. So someone thinks we're still in 1998 and tries to use the old pit lane. Straight into Corps, run wide. Have to back out of it. It's not invalidated though. As we go through Maggots, Beckett's. Through Chapel and then on to the Hangar Straight. Put a wheel on the grass there. So the middle sector was slightly better, but we will have another lap to come. As we go through, about to go through Club, back onto Hamilton Straight for the end of that lap. And so that is P1 at the moment. Lap. But it won't stay P1. And as you can see here, my final run, we were half a second up. It would have been good enough for the front row, but we understeered coming into Chapel, invalidated that lap, and so we're going to start P4. So as you can see, with that half a second, we'd have been right in the mix, either front row or possibly P3. So that was really disappointing. Quite a field spread here though. A lot of cars also, Matterman especially, who was tipped to be quickest here, crashed out in qualifying, so he'll start from the back because it's a wet race. Lights are out, we have a really slow start, we're really tentative, we didn't want too much wheel spin. But we're going to get swallowed first. It's Metcalf, then it's Mick. We've got Laverick on our outside. It's really easy to get pinched into that first corner here. So as it stands, we're down into P6, but we're going to have a look at the inside of Mick, but we're really, really nervous, and Laverick's going to sweep around our outside as well. Not a great opening few corners. Need to be mindful of the Ari behind us as well. There's a yellow flag somewhere. I don't believe we're at risk of a safety car. As Laverick's going to have a look at Robbie defend slightly. And this is really nervy times at the moment, because no one has got any experience of what the grip's like on the intermediates. This is our first wet race of the season as well. So P7, not the greatest of starts. We've pulled the gaps in the Ari and those behind us at the moment. And so this is nervy, going through Maggots and Beckett's for the first time on wet. No idea where the grip is, just absolutely guessing at this point where the grip might be. Laverick looks to have a good run and Rob Wills ahead of us. He's going to pull out going into Stowe, he's not going to make it. We just understeer clean off the track there, pick up a silly warning. As Laverick runs wide there, he's going to hit the curb there. And Laverick gets on the power too often and he spun right round. So that's one position gained, we're up to P6 now. But we've already lost a second to those ahead. And so on lap 2, the VSC is out. So on lap 2, we're down in P6 right behind Rob. And so as we start lap 3 now, as I said, Matterman behind was tipped for pole, and he's already up into P7, so he's had a rocket of an opening couple of laps. As we run wide there, I did want to aquaplane into the back of Rob. This will give Matterman, well, it should give him a very, very good run. Coming out of Aintree, He's not going to make the move there. But again, we're going to understeer. It's just really difficult knowing where the grip is at this moment in time.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon.
The rain is only forecast for another few laps, but it's a case of surviving these few laps now. As Mataman's going to go side by side, and we haven't got quite the cojones for that. Our race isn't with Mataman, he's loads quicker than us. Our race will be with Rob ahead. So on lap 3 we're down to P7 from P4. We've got a nice comfortable gap to Jock behind us at the moment. This Mataman really pushing it, coming out of stone runs wide. It's a faster slap by Nick, who did have a good start. And so now as we go to lap 5, Mataman's going to make that move on Rob. Rob doesn't fight it too hard, he opens the door for him. I think he's thinking the same as me. This isn't his race with Mataman. As our engineer comes on to tell us it's time for dry tyres, although it still looks as though it's raining. It doesn't look dry at the moment. The track still feels very, very slippery. It's an interesting call as, a lot of understeer going for there. That'll have lost us some momentum. And there's a spinner, who's that? That's Metcalf who spun. That's another position gained. And so at the end of this lap we are going to pit. DRS is online. And so as we go into the pits, ready for a fresh set of sauce, and wow, Rob overtook Mataman going into the pit lane. Very creative. Sebastian Vettel style. Really quick thinking on his feet there. And so I think the whole pack will now come in for dry tyres. No one wants to be that car that's on the wrong tyres at the wrong time. Although I do think Metcalf may have gone through on those inters. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace he's got. Or if it is the perfect time for the crossover. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Not sure what's happened there. And so we're going to be now behind Mataman and Rob, where we started. Jock gained quite a bit of an advantage there. As Mataman and Rob go through there. Mataman pushes his way through. Rob had to back out of it. It was aggressive, but it was fair. And so it's up to us now to get Rob. As we go through Woodcut, we've got ERS on. Shade of Hamilton Verstappen, we've got the inside line. Unlike Hamilton, we're going to hit that apex. We've made the move before the corner. Rob didn't fight it too hard on the outside either, so there's no danger of me understeering into him. We're very, very happy with that overtake. And it's a mixture of strategies now. So you can see Skarma ahead. He's gone for a set of mediums. He's hoping to go right till the end. Whereas those on softs will have to pit again for a fresh set of softs. And at the moment, this battle with Rob will probably last most of the race. As Metcalf finally does pit off them intermediates as well, and that's a position gain, so it's P5 now. Of course, DRS is active. It still looks as though it's raining. There's still not much grip out there. As we go wide into the loop, Rob will have much better traction than us going through Aintree and up the Wellington Straight. when he's going to make the move. We're going to give him that inside line because we're going to have the inside line for the next corner. Oh, but we're going to... Oh, we understeered into the side rim. It's us that spin. So that's a couple of positions lost. Racing instant there, two drivers going hard at it. This will be the replay here. So we've got the inside line for the next corner. We've got more than a car's length inside. Rob's does give us just about enough racing room, but we end up understeering into his side pod. And so on lap 8 now we need to catch Jock and Spacey ahead of us. We also pick up a daft penalty for going wide at Cops. And on lap 10 we're not really making much inroads into those ahead of us. But there is a full course safety car. So we'll stick on the mediums now. Go to the end. I think that's what everyone will do. And so here it is for the safety car restart. We're sat in P9, we're behind Brown Dog at the moment, with Saloon behind us. And so this is pretty much a sprint race now for the next 12 laps. Everyone's, I think, on a new set of mediums. Brown Dog in front of us might not be. Oh, that spin in the instant with Rob has really cost us ground here, because we'd have been ahead of everyone. So we're not close to the Brown Dog on this straight. Nor Eddie. Spacey and those in front. They're starting to leave us. Got Michelando and Metcalf behind. Metcalf, of course, having a great race earlier, but we saw him spin. He'll be trying to recover. Brown Dog was pretty quick going through Cops then. Is he as quick going through the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, I wonder? I mean, the answer is yes. This is a poor lap from us at the moment. With the RS on, we do catch. It's possible he's running more wings and we're going to be quicker in a straight line, I'm not sure. But we are now catching those ahead. Jock stayed out under the safety car, I'm not sure why. So his tyres will be horrible compared to everyone else's, and he's falling down at the moment. DRS not yet available, of course. But what that has done, if Brown Dog stays behind Jock on the next lap as well, is Brown Dog defend us by DRS from Jock, which is just going to make our little run through all this a bit slower. But Michelando and Metcalf have caught us right up now as well. So we're going to go for the Lewis Hamilton line through here, hoping to get a really good exit. And we may have to be brave going into Cops again. We're not going to be close enough this time though. Brown Dog runs wide though. So we may have a chance going into Stowe. Yeah, we're much quicker this lap going through the middle section. No DRS yet though, of course. And I still don't think we're quite close enough. But Michelando behind us is catching up now. We had a look for it. Weren't close enough, had to back out. As Jock does pit. So that will now be P8. And look how much Michelando and Metcalf behind us have caught up with us now. So I'll need to get through Brown Dog quite quickly. DRS now enabled on lap 16.
DRS is now online.
Brown Dog takes a very slow line through there. Probably not worth going through there at the moment. Do need to be mindful of those behind me though. As we hit the apex there, car gets... We had a little bit of wheel spin coming out of there. Still don't think we're going to be quite close enough to Brown Dog this lap. Are we going to be close enough this time going into Cops? We just might be. We're alongside. Oh, I didn't feel brave enough. Not now. But my pace is strong enough, and I think Brown Dog's struggling. Especially going through here, you can just see how much I'm catching him now. As we get a good run going through Chapel. DRS is on. We've lost tons of time to Spacey ahead. But we'll go past Brown Dog. We'll move on to the racing line because the overtake's done before we even get to Stowe. And that's P7 with Mick and Spacey ahead of them. So that might be our battle going forward now. Got 10 laps. So Mick's about 2.2 seconds ahead, but they'll be going each other with DRS. But lap 20, here we are, within DRS range. Mick got behind Spacey somewhere. Mick got ahead, sorry, of Spacey somewhere. We're hoping we're going to be able to do the same. For some reason, it must be our setup. We don't, our traction through there is awful. I'll have a quick look at my diff just to see if that's going to help me at all. So that's where I'm struggling. But I'm slowly confident, although I have got a 3-second penalty and I've got Laverick behind. As the VSC comes out.
Slow down and maintain a positive delta.
Got to be careful with the VSC due to the well-known glitch. And because of that well-known glitch, we lost a ton of time to Spacey and Mick ahead of us. I was being far too cautious. As now we come up to lap saloon. So lap 21.
There's been an incident on track, but
Laverick's got a 5-second penalty for somewhere behind us. And it looks as though we're going to have to settle for 7th. Which I'm gutted about considering our pace in quali, although we didn't get the clean lap in. Our pace was definitely there. However, lap 23, we're back in the DRS zone. Mick and Spacey must have been fighting amongst themselves. But they just get much better drive than I do. As you flow through Aintree, down the Wellington Straight. Mick hasn't got a time penalty at the moment either, as whoa, we nearly lose it going through there. Car snapped on me. But I don't think I've lost too much. We need to be mindful of Mick's. Got no penalties up there in 5th.
Rain is forecast in just over 10
we're so much quicker than Spacey going through Cops. As Metcalf retires after he was having a very good race. The Spacey's going to have a look at the inside of Mick. We're going to try and follow. We're not. Oh, Mick does leave the door open though. But we're not quite close enough. Will we have a look at the outside going into there? No, not this lap. So as we go into lap 24. We've got a handful of laps now to salvage P5, but I don't think we're going to be able to get ahead of Mick and pull 3 seconds in the time we've got. We get better traction than Mick in that area, probably because he's on the hards, but he's going to try and catch up with Spacey. Not this time. We're getting much better run coming out of that corner onto the straight. We're just never quite close enough going into Cops. Not quite. Much quicker than Mick though, going through Cops. We're not going to try and move going through there though. Not through Maggots and Beckett's. We might have a run on him. Going up to Stowe. As we get a lot of speed going through Chapel, a really, really good run. ERS on, DRS on. We're going to go on the inside and Mick. We've got the inside line. It's our corner. A little bit of wheel rubbing. And so we're about to go on lap 25. Mick's had a 3-second penalty somewhere as well. I missed that. So this is actually now 4th position. And so on lap 25. Sorry, here's the replay of the overtake. Just 3 cars there. Mick just must not have had a straight line speed. A little bit of banging, but it was our corner. We were quite aggressive. It was very Max Verstappen-like. Well, that move's done, and now we're on to Spacey. We're definitely not going to touch the podium places unless those ahead have got really, really big penalties. Spacey got a much better run then. But we've got DRS, we won't be close enough this time. And we need to be clever. Got a couple of laps to do this as we put in a purple middle sector, so we've definitely got pace now. I'm on the charge. Spacey takes defensive line. May compromise him because we're not close enough to him yet. Didn't quite hit the apex there, but we still gain a bit of time. This is a great sequence of corners on the wheel as JS92 retires. Spacey didn't have the optimal line going through Beckett and Chapel. We did. With DRS assist, that's quite straightforward. But now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to defend from those behind us. There's a yellow flag somewhere, I'm not sure where that is.
Green flag. This is your final lap.
So on the last lap, it's still all to play for P5. Tyres are still feeling okay at the moment though. And so we need a good exit out of here. Which we get. Spacey was compromised, I think. So Mick might get past Spacey. We're going to be safe here. Through this section anyway, but there's still the hanger straight to come. As we run slightly wide there, but what we will get is we'll get a decent amount of acceleration coming up. Through Luffield. Woodcut, sorry. Into Copse. Gain some more time on Spacey going through Copse. We saw in the last lap he wasn't strong going through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel. He's a little bit better this time, but he's lost another couple of tenths. And so what started off as a wet race quickly became dry in the Northamptonshire countryside. And as we go into Club, Matterman wins it. We're going to finish P5. No complaints by me. We're not going to beat Rob. We would have if it wasn't for our penalty. But really happy with that drive. Bar the spin. I was really happy with that. Pace in the wet wasn't too bad. And some nice overtakes. Great battles at the end.